What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Turn My Mic Up. I am one of your hosts, Big Los from the Noise Podcast.
What up, it's your boy Jay Alonzo, back to Classic Podcast.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy King Corey over the Top LV.
What's good? It's your boy D Brown, Cinema Rehab, back to the classics. You know what it is and what it's about to do.
Absolutely, D Brown, new face but familiar face as well. Brown. You know, constantly in the group.
Yeah, I do talk my shit.
Got to. We appreciate it.
You gotta stir your daily shit up, man.
There's always like the same ones too, the same people. Which shout out to y'all.
Keep your ass out of Facebook jail, bro. You're like a 5-time offender, my nigga. For real.
Before we shout out to my boy Blade with last name Brown, like an asshole. We are always in jail. We needed to calm the fuck down, relax.
Out here trading felonies. Happy to be back. Happy to be with the brothers talking hip hop again. The unfortunate side of things is that we are also here to pay our respects to one of the GOATs, one of the top tier artists, one of the most respected to really do it, man. So we got to say RIP to DMX. Huge hit to the hip hop game. Somebody that, as we were discussing prior to coming on here, people are really afraid to put him in their top 10, but let's keep it clear. DMX is definitely a top 10 artist, and I don't see much of the debate. You know, even when you get to his later albums, when, you know, his demons were starting to take, you know, control, there wasn't enough to take away from the other albums that he did that were just, you know what I'm saying, supreme quality. And being able to revisit his work now, it was just a reminder of how great he was.
The fact of it all is he's the only artist to have his first 5 albums debut at number 1. No artist, no matter what genre, has done that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he left a mark. He left a huge mark. And for me, while it's sad that anyone that we grew up with is no longer with us, but for X, I feel like X was put on this earth to fulfill a purpose. I feel like he job well done. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I feel like he served his purpose. You know what I'm saying? And while we mourn, DMX will live on forever. You know what I'm saying? Like forever. You know what I'm saying? Like I can still hear a DMX record right now and be like, you know what I'm saying? And
it like transports you back to an actual time frame. I feel like every time you listen to DMX, if you start from the first album, you cycle through the second, you get to the third, you get to the Great Depression, and you get to Grand Champion. Those were stages of your life. Like that was me in college. That was me in high school. That was me before I started high school. Like it's nuts. It's wild just to think about that. He was guiding you through life a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. And like you said, Los, a lot of people may not put X in your top 10. But I guarantee you have an X album in your top 10 albums.
For sure.
Absolutely.
You got an X song in your top 10 songs.
There's no way you're going to tell me you don't have an X album in your top 10 albums.
And you bought it. Like, we're talking about Best Buy Tuesday. Best Buy Tuesday, you purchased it. Like, I know people that purchased X albums. Like, I went and bought my shit. Like, not bootleg.
If you come from that era, you had a CD book page dedicated to the DMX album.
Oh, yeah. DMX. You had all of them.
And you know what? Strong point on that one as well, Corey. DMX is one of those artists that you had his entire Def Jam run.
You did.
He's one of those artists that you didn't skip an album. You know what I mean?
At all.
And to me, that's legendary shit, man. So definitely RIP to X. Hope you guys enjoyed our dedication video in the beginning. But we're doing something different with this video. We are seeing a lot of dedications go out. And all of them, you know what I'm saying, YouTube is definitely showing their ass when it comes down to these dedications. There's some amazing, beautiful videos going out. We want to do something different. We really want to give DMX his flowers for the body of work that he's made. So we are going to be doing a tier list. This is going to lead to a ranking of his major label releases. First album that we're going to throw in the tier, we got It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Released May 12, 1998. RIAA certified 4 times platinum with the singles Get At Me Dog, Stop Being Greedy, Rough Ryders Anthem, and How's It Going Down. So I'm just gonna throw this out. You know, we can go down the road. I believe y'all see it the same way I see it. Myself, Jay, Corey, and Duval. I have to, for myself personally, y'all let me know how y'all feel. I got to rank this as a top tier album. I actually circled back to the conversation that we had for our most, for the best debuts during our first episode of Turn My Mic Up. And revisiting this album, it's crazy that I didn't even consider this one. Maybe I was way too West Coast biased, but it's it's insane that this wasn't considered. Yo, low key, there are no skips on this album.
No, not a single one. Not a single one.
And my favorite DMX record, Stop Being Greedy, is on this album as well. And of course, when I got there, I spun that about 3-4 times before I kept.
I love Stop Being Greedy.
It's a fantastic record.
The thing about It's Dark and Hell is Hot, that is just a beautiful thing. Like, you know, we were young when it dropped. So
yeah.
I remember specifically Mike Tyson coming out to the intro.
Oh yeah.
And when I finally got the CD, you know, when we were allowed to like get, you know, personal advisory CDs, you know what I'm saying? I remember I put it on, and the conversation in the beginning, I'm like, well, what the hell is this? But you hear that doom, 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 like, oh, what is this? Bro, by the time X is going, bro, the intro to this album is hands down probably one of the best intros I've ever heard in my life.
Easily.
You know
Easily.
Corey,
but also with this album, even though, you know, you have Stop Being Greedy, you have the Rough Ryders Anthem, you have How's It Going Down, you have the singles that popped off, bro. This album is full of album cuts that unless you know this album,
bro, Get At Me, Dog, Let Me Fly,
Let Me Fly, Look Into My Eyes,
the first Damien.
Yo, niggas done started something is my shit. Like when I tell you.
The Convo, I just put it in the group about the Convo. Deep fucking record.
Oh my God,
bro, Damien, bro. Oh my God, like you know, the Damien character has been pretty prominent in X's albums. You know what I'm saying? Right. Of course, no matter what he's talking about, it could be the most grimy street shit you ever heard in your life. By the time you reach the end of that album, he got a prayer for you.
You got a prayer for
I noticed that every time he did a prayer, I bob my head and I pray with X. You know what I'm saying? I'm squared up. You know what I'm saying? Because like DMX made it to where you could be a street nigga. You could be DMX was a stick up kid. You know what I'm saying? So you could be a street nigga, but still have a relationship with the big man upstairs and wear your heart on your sleeve. Like, but we always knew about his problems. So the lyrics now hit way different than they did back then. Like now, yo, X be telling us from jump, like, bruh, I'm religious, and when it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But until then, I'm gonna ride this bitch out. Like that's why I said before we start recording that while we mourn X, he's not here in a physical form, bruh. DMX was waiting to go back home. You know what I'm saying? Like 100%. Because he here on Earth, he filled his prophecy, what he was supposed to do.
And I feel that because at the end of the day, when you look at It's Dark and Hell is Hot, this is X in his prime, by the way. This is X in his prime. Those songs are timeless. I'm talking about you could put them shits on at any time. And when we just agreed that we're not skipping them, the reason we're not skipping them is because that's how hot them shits are. Like that's how well produced that album is. It works well. Like all the songs are arranged, pieced together properly. Like I cannot explain to y'all the feeling in NYC when that album dropped. I couldn't even bring words to it, but I'll put it to you like this. Funkmaster Flex, his bomb dropping antics, DMX took over for like a whole 2 weeks. That's all that was on the radio was DMX and Rockefeller. That's it.
Oh, bro.
Oh yeah. But you know what though? That expands past New York because even all the way over here, it was the same thing. Once Pac was gone, Diddy brought New York across the country.
Man,
and it was New York everywhere.
And not knowing what we know now, you know, as a little kid, not knowing his backstory, not knowing that he's in and out of jail, not knowing how his mom abused him and left him, you know, to be a foster kid. All of these stuff that we learning now about him, you still felt that in those records. You can tell when people are faking. And it's a persona, and you can tell, yo, when you heard some shit, you're like, yo, that's a real nigga right there. Like, I just got told who I'm dealing with just now, especially after you bump Get At Me, dog.
Absolutely.
Problem.
So my vote is I feel like we should throw it in the top tier. Now it doesn't mean that tier. Nothing else is gonna go into the top tier. We could definitely put other things in the top tier, but then we're gonna also order these down for the ranking. So I'm thinking top tier. Jay, what you think?
Top tier, yes, it's definitely beyond. Shut up and down top tier. As crazy as it sounds, it's Dark and Hell is Hot. While it's a masterpiece of an album, not my favorite.
I was gonna say the same thing, Jay.
That's why you said it was gonna be some shit.
I was gonna say the same thing, Jay.
Like my number one DMX album to me.
Hold on. We'll get there.
Wait, all right, cool. Well, it's top tier, but not my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's filled with, moments that will live on forever. And once again, those lyrics, like I said before, those lyrics hit different now because it's almost like X knew eventually that his day would come.
Right.
So he lived the way he lived. He dealt with his demons. But don't forget, X is known for taking our pain and making it his own.
Right.
So DMX always prayed for us, even though he needed the most prayer out of everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's Dark and Hell is Hot. While it's a fucking fantastic album, not my favorite.
Court.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a top tier album. I'm a lot like Jay though. It's not my favorite album, but I will say that this album was the album that made you be like, man, I'm fucking with DMX, man. Like you said, when you hear the pain in some of these tracks, you're like, bro, you have to, that shit is real. Like you said, it's certain people and certain songs, you hear it and you're like, yeah, nah.
Yeah.
You feel me? And now that's why I think now knowing, like you said, going back to now knowing what we know, knowing what he was going through, it's like that's gonna make him such even a bigger legend in this shit, man. That replay value of those albums, that's why they're going crazy right now. That's why his album sales are going, bro. It's
900 times, yeah.
Replay value on that, man.
Bro, listen,
like, damn, you almost kind of forgot about it.
X said, either let me fly or give me death. Let my soul rest, take my breath. If I don't fly, I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna live on, but I'll be gone any day. So he never shied away from the inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Yes, but at the same time, he prepped you for one day. I won't be here anymore. But this body of work, this piece of art will live on forever. But it was nuts to hear how many cars I drove by the day that he passed.
Yeah.
Blasting Ruff Ryders Anthem or blasting How's It Going Down or blasting the top tier X records. And
the infamous, now everybody's a DMX fan. I said, yeah, everybody's a DMX.
However, everybody's a
DMX fan.
Everybody's
a DMX. Yeah, they may not bump that shit every day, but trust me, they bump it, they bump all of it.
You can say that about Nipsey, because everybody became a Nipsey fan after he passed. When X passed away, if you're a fan of DMX, you are a fan of DMX.
Absolutely.
His movies, his features, you know what I'm saying? His little one-off scenes or whatever. Like you watched it, like you grew up with DMX. You know what I'm saying? So now when I say we're fans, we are fans, 100%.
Duval, what you think? Top tier?
Top tier. Look, I got my issues with what I was about to decide because I am very torn. As bad as this pains me, because I really want to put something else in that top tier.
Oh no, but I say no. We can put a bunch in there.
Cool. But I know that I have to make the tough decision. I'm sorry, man. The first album is just too hot. It's too classic. It's too crucial. I cannot debate where it places. It always will be top. Always top tier.
All right, so DMX. It's Dark and Hell is Hot going in the top tier. All right, so for the next one, we have Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
Motherfucking year.
December 22nd, 1998. RIAA certified 3 times platinum with singles Slippin and No Love for Me.
And that shit really, honestly, I don't know if y'all read Source or y'all do any of those magazines from back in the day. I'm sure y'all do, but this shit got no promotion. When I tell you no promotion, like I literally heard this shit from a homie. Like, hey, that new X is gonna drop. How you know that? How the fuck do you know that? And literally said, all right, well, we cut in school. We got to get that. We bumping that shit front to back. Like, and then when my niggas dropped, I said, oh yeah, we back.
Right.
It was crazy, bro. For me, like I thought Slippin was like a bonus cut from It's Dark and Hell is Hot, right? And then when I heard also the intro, My Niggas, I heard that on Any Given Sunday. I'm like, what is that? That shit is banging, bro. That shit is so nuts, bro. I swear, bro. Like I thought Slippin' was a bonus cut or a deluxe edition because let's be real, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood is almost like a part 2 to It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
And that's exactly what it felt like. I'm so glad you said that. That's exactly what it felt like. It felt like an extension. Like if you weren't done rocking with the first joint, I got bonus joints for you. Like it's like the lost tapes of DMX. Like here, we good.
We good. Don't worry, I'm gonna still feed you that energy.
Yeah, give him that shit.
But see, that's the thing,
just dropped. Yeah, it's okay. Give him another one.
That's the thing, though, and I'll get to it when we get into the ranking. That's technically what it was. I don't know if y'all watched his interview on Drink Champs. The only reason he was able to drop a second album in '98 before the year was out was because he had so many throwaways from It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
That's right.
And you hate to say it because it is still a great album. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood is a bunch of throwaways.
It don't go up there as much as you want to put it up there.
As much as you want to put it
hit that mark.
Which is why you had
banger on it. It has probably one of the top, top DMX song you could probably think of for a lot of people. But the album itself is
the album
filler. You get filler.
Most people got the album for Slippin'.
Slippin', yeah.
And even to this day, Slippin' is one of them records to where but no lie, I think the very next day after he passed, I was listening to Slippin' in the car waiting on my girl. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Hearing those lyrics, bro, the pain in that man's voice. You know what I'm saying? Like I sat there and I'm just like, bro, I'm really sitting here like getting watered up, like wow, like X really went through the gauntlet, my nigga. Like he really went through it. You know what I'm saying?
I remember being young listening to Slippin', probably like shit. I had to be like 14, 15. I was young. And I remember tearing up listening to it. Like I'm young too. Like I'm not going through shit at this age. Like,
I'm slipping too. Shit,
I'm slipping too.
I report card.
It's like Maze find my way, and now I know the days are not far away. I'm like, bro, I feel you, dog. You know what I'm saying?
You felt it.
I felt that 100%. You know, what
I've seen him perform that a few times, and I've seen him break down performing it. Like,
he always does.
Yeah, every time. Like that's an emotional track for him. Yeah.
If you don't get any kind of emotion from Slippin', bro, you have no soul. Period.
You have none.
And that's why for the verses,
you're a fucking devil.
That's why for the verses, it was like it was only perfect to have Slippin' go up against Murder Was the Case. Like nigga, and X said, write that pain. Like, trust me, you feel better when you get that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you let it kind of just sit on you, it'll eat you alive. Write that pain. You know what I'm saying? X was his own therapist.
Yep. You're right.
So we'll start it with Jay. What tier do you think this falls?
All right, now this is a little different because I treat this like it's like an extended play of It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
Yeah, me too.
Again, not my favorite album. And typically when I go to Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, I typically go to My Niggas, Slippin', Blackout, and maybe We Don't Give a Fuck with Jadakiss. But besides that, I don't
revisit it like that.
Like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
On the record with Marilyn Manson, that record's dope. But besides that, I don't really.
Ain't No Way was my shit. Ain't No Way.
Ain't No Way. And No Love For Me was dope as fuck. And then It's All Good was dope as fuck too. But
that album was dope, man.
We're sitting here talking about this was dope, that was dope, this was dope, that was dope.
There's 20-something songs in that motherfucker, though. You know what I'm saying?
But once we get to the other albums, you'll kind of understand that this even though it's a good album, it's like this is kind of mid at the same time.
It's hard to pick when the shit is dope.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And that's a good problem to have. Is that your mid album has bangers on it.
And for me personally, I don't want to say it's full of skippables, but there are records I typically do skip when I play Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. You know what I'm saying?
True. I'm not gonna cap.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't cap at all. You know what I'm saying? But like, we get to the third one is when like we get to see the trajectory of X. You know what I'm saying? Like he was in a dark place for these two. By the time we get to the album number 3, X is a fucking superstar at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that. So top tier, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, no. But, there are exceptions to that because there are things on that album that just timeless for sure.
You feel me, dog?
Well, where would you suggest it go? Because I have my thoughts. I'm pretty sure Corey and Duval have their thoughts as well.
Yeah, I think my spot is gonna be controversial. I don't think you're gonna like it.
Mine too.
I would say out of the 7, I will put Flesh My Flesh at number.
Well, no, not ranking, but on this tier list.
On this tier.
So what? Like I'll put like A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
Right. You have to pick S, A, B, C, D.
Don't ask those questions, man.
I'll put it at D.
D.
Whoa.
Bottom tier?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Bottom tier?
Okay.
Whoa, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
No, trust me. I'm going to explain myself. Trust me.
I was thinking.
You sure about that?
I was thinking CB-ish.
I was in CB-ish.
Listen. When you go back through the whole catalog, and then better yet, when you hear It's Dark and Hell is Hot, and then you put on Flesh My Flesh, it's practically the same album, just keeps going. Which is cool.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
At the same time, though,
But for the simple fact that Slippin is on the CD, you put this last?
But hold on, though.
Slippin gets
Wait a minute, though.
last,
Wait a minute, though. Slippin is a record that's very introspective. Just like Let Me Fly, Look Into My Eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are introspective records. But they're records that's on this that you can put on It's Dark and Hell is Hot and still get the same glorious feeling. But unlike It's Dark and Hell is Hot, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood has skippables. It does. It does.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure,
It's not soft on the slump.
last tiers? Damn,
But
that's the rough one.
When you hear my other 3 before that, you know why.
Corey,
Okay.
what tier would you
Jeez,
put this
man,
out?
I didn't think we was gonna do my boy X like that. I know, but I'm gonna say B. I'm gonna say B. Like you said, there is that. I think this album was one of those albums that when you went to it for specific songs. It wasn't an album I'm trying to put on and play.
There you go.
It's I'm going to look for these songs. I want to hear Slippin', so let me go to this album. I want to hear this, so let me go to this album.
Right. There's reasons to revisit this joint. You know,
exactly,
so not every reason
you
though.
You gotta go through it. Like you can't listen to X and be like, oh, I can't go through X without going to this album and picking a few of these out of this album and listening to. So you feel me? I'll put it about B. You feel me? I can't put it dead last. You feel me? Because Slippin' alone is such a that's probably his best.
Slippin' got it 4 plaques.
You feel me? Exactly.
But,
4 plaques.
But that's my point though. Unless you had, and this is back in the day when we were getting singles, like CD singles of the shit, right?
Right.
And then got the album, you discover what you liked on the album. So unless you did not have the Slippin' single, I had the single, right? And so when I played the album back, it was like, all right, so I can discover what I like off the album. But most people for this album only got it because Slippin' is on, and they discovered it like on the album once they got it. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of niggas bought, and this ain't even controversial. A lot of niggas bought DMX second album because of the way that album cover looked, the fact that it was the
nuts,
first one. They ain't even want to hear. They ain't even hear nothing yet.
Right.
But that's my point. But the first time you had Stop Being Greedy, you had what's the other record? Stop Being Greedy.
Stop Being Greedy, Damien, What's Going Down?
Rough Ryders Anthem.
The intro.
and bro, and Mike Tyson made the intro popular, bro. I'm telling you. Like before Tyson came out to it, niggas didn't hear that shit.
All I'm telling you is, I was living in Brooklyn at the time. I didn't hear a single fucking track from this album, and I went to go buy it. A single track.
So what tier would you put it on, Duval?
B, for sure.
B
all day.
Yeah. I agree with B as well. We're gonna have the majority rule it.
Y'all niggas capping.
All right, so Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, tier B. All right, so let's get to the album that I believe made everyone a DMX fan, and that is And Then There Was X. Released December 21st, 1999. His highest selling album, RIAA, certified 5 times platinum with the most legendary singles, What's My Name, Party Up, and of course, What These Bitches Want.
Yeah. You named the bangers on this album, man. So this album, there's no question, no debate in this album. I don't care what nobody say. This is a top tier album. Top tier album, man. Like this is what made. This is where I can really remember. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, DMX is really that nigga. Like,
Oh, yeah.
especially being young. Like,
If you
okay,
had
I'm young. I'm
doubts.
starting to come into that age now. I'm like, okay, yeah, for sure.
Bro,
Like,
X
this
ushered
was-
in 2000 for us, bro. 100%.
but he couldn't miss
oh
on
my
this album.
gosh.
At all.
Just name those big singles that Los just named, bro. He could not miss.
They was holding them shits. When I say they were holding them, I think him and Swiss just said, "Yep, this
now
gonna be
it's
the
time.
one."
Now this
Mhm.
gonna be the one. Yeah. So man,
Mhm.
this is personally, man. This holds a high spot in my list, regardless. So, but yeah, it's top tier album, man.
I'm waiting my turn. I'm waiting my turn.
Top tier, fuck that. If it's going up, going up, going up, going up, I don't give a fuck. Yo, and then there was X was a problem.
Super
was
problem.
a problem. Like it was neck to neck, like with fucking Hov and them. It was like you couldn't even decide. Like it was like trying to pick between like two of your favorite fucking consoles. You was like Sega Genesis and Nintendo. What the fuck?
Dog, every time he dropped a single from this album, it's
Fire.
just screw face. Like, oh my
Straight
god,
BT,
like, this is an
Not only
album.
that, though- Not only that, though.
This is all on one album.
These singles came in a way to where they were just perfect. Like, bro, What's My Name? Not only being my favorite video from X.
Bro, that video was nuts.
But What's My Name? Hard hitting. Like, yo, this shit is hard, bro. But then to follow up with Party Up, a record that he's playing the club today.
Party Up was on everything.
And then what these bitches want.
What's My Name? That piano lets you know something stupid is about to happen, and then come on, boom, boom,
like an evil bass.
You just knew it was about to be something
I'm
stupid.
talking about half repping ass motherfuckers. Think it's a game?
I think that's the first time. That's the first time I seen Hype Williams not blow something up in a video.
Cause man, all that energy already belonged to X.
He had dogs. There was mad cameos. It was mad lights. That shit was crazy. Like,
it was super stupid.
It was in hell, but like a hell in a studio.
No matter how you even view the album, and then there was X was DMX's Blueprint before Blueprint. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It was even though it still had its dark tones, but this album is more like this is X having fun, having a great fucking time. Like the fact that you could put those lyrics on a club beat like Party Up. Don't forget, DMX still robbing niggas on Party Up.
Don't make no mistakes about it.
You know what I'm saying? He's still robbing.
I'm in the club to rob you. I'm not dancing.
But he's having a good time though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Run everything.
But records like what these bitches want. Like when you could take a whole second verse, just name motherfuckers' names, and that should be dope like that, bro. I remember being in high school. And when that record would come on, if we knew somebody in that list, like hoe ass bitch.
I know a name like that, but you know what though?
I know Brenda. I know Letitia.
Even to that point,
and 3 Kims, nigga. What you mean?
I was just having that exact same conversation. DMX is someone that can never be duplicated. DMX, there's only one DMX yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Like there will never be another DMX because when you hear him spitting those names. Mind you, the nigga is just saying names, but you're reacting as if he's giving you gas bars.
Yeah,
gas bars. Like the only other nigga to like try to like steal it was that Petey Pablo? Freaking League. He trying to steal DMX's shit.
You see where Petey's at now.
You see where he went out, man.
Like Costco, nigga. You know what it is.
Exactly.
Gas station, like you notice that
he shorted me my change.
on this album. Wow, the first 2 albums, he has conversations with the devil all the time, right?
Yeah.
The record Angel with Regina Bell, bro, it's literally him having a conversation with God. The DXL Hard Right record is crazy. What's My Name is hands down probably one of the best debut singles for a new album I've ever heard in my life.
DMX and the Locks is a perfect combo all the time.
The album cut that I love to this day. It's called Fame. It's track 4 on that album.
Fame.
Yeah.
Fame is just a beast of a record, but then he's letting you know, yo, this industry is fucked up.
Is that the joint I'm gonna live forever and never gonna shine? Yeah, that one was crazy.
Corey, you're saying top tier?
Top tier.
Duval, what you saying?
Top tier, please.
I got top tier as well. Jay?
Top tier.
Let's go.
Without doubt.
So this is without any kind of conversation. Top tier.
You guys decided that this is top tier because I thought I was the one that was always tripping. I used to have fights with people. I'd be like, yo, son, how can you choose between his first and his third album? That shit is so hard. Like
both of those just
those
absolute classics.
Yeah, it's just hard as fuck.
Until we get to album number 4.
Album number 4, The Great Depression. October 23rd, 2001. RIAA one-time platinum. We Right Here, Who We Be, and I Miss You. The 3 singles from Great Depression.
Yes.
We'll start with Duval this time. Thoughts, brother?
Who We Be was cool as fuck. What a good song. What a good feel-good DMX joint. Like, it was different. He slowed it down for you a little bit, even though he don't really rhyme fast or anything. This was just a different type of record. This album actually was just a different kind of record. And the reason you got that decline is because it's not my favorite fucking DMX album, man, unfortunately.
Respectable.
I got some skippables on this joint. Like, I'll be like,
what, nigga, you tripping?
I'll wait till it get to me, but I'm listening.
It's cool. But for the most part, where it lacked in the production value, like the first 2 predecessors that we put at the top, it was pure lyrics, though. That's what you came for this one. If you dare just to hear X just talk his shit, oh yeah, Great Depression is a great time. It's an awesome time. Yeah, you're not gonna really. I don't want to say skip. Skip is very disrespectful. I would just say that you gotta be kind of in the mood.
I don't want to hear this right now.
Yeah, you got to be in the mood for the Great Depression at this point, at this stage of where he was at. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't the Turn Up album. It wasn't Party Up. This wasn't none of that shit.
That's exactly why I feel the way I feel about this album.
That's all I'm saying. That this one was a different situation, and I guess he was already preparing it with the title. Like, I'm depressed, motherfuckers.
There's a reason why. There's something going on. I'm going to have to disagree with you, especially, like I said, listening back to this with grown ears. This was easily DMX's sleeper album. This didn't get the attention that it truly deserved. I mean,
Grand Champ didn't either, but we'll get there.
No, we'll definitely get there. Outside of the singles, We Right Here, Who We Be, and I Miss You. You also had the second record, School Street. Shorty was the bomb. Damien 3, this is the return of Damien. This is the one I realized I'm like, he's talking to his addiction. He's not, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the devil, which it's still the devil, of course. You Could Be Blind, the prayer, you know what I'm saying? The final prayer, like, it's
prayer for your son. Oh my God.
You Could Be Blind is my jam, though. You Could Be Blind is my shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this, when I was listening back to it, I was like, why don't I remember this album being this raw? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, does it have its, I don't want to hear this, you know what I'm saying, this song right now?
You know what it is? I'm going to tell you what it is, Los, man. Because at this time, I don't want to say it's a decline for X, but I think everybody else in Def Jam was on the rise.
Absolutely. 2001 was the age of Def Jam.
Absolutely. I was still rising, like X was still prominent, but
he wasn't
got kicked to the back of the
highlight anymore. You feel me? And I think that's where that's why this album probably doesn't get as much credit as it may deserve, because it came at a time where, you feel me, X was already running shit and he was on a roll. But at this time, everybody else started to come now. Like you said, Def Jam going crazy now. Now you feel me, Hove is going crazy at this time.
Because this dropped a month after Blueprint, right?
Eventually lapped him.
No, so this dropped a month before Blueprint.
Because remember, Blueprint dropped in September.
Because Blueprint dropped September 11th.
September 11th. Trust
Jay
me,
had
I
already
remember.
started. I'm about to say, that was a bad day for you.
That was a bad day, but I got that album though.
He's like, I'm going to the store smoking the sky.
Hey, I'm just saying, them shits didn't fall in Brooklyn. Them shits fell in Lower Manhattan.
Really looking back at it and thinking about it like that, solid point, Corey, because Jay was releasing some shit off of Blueprint before it dropped, and this is the era where, because now how hip hop is now, they drop the album and then you'll get the singles later. This is the era of the rollout.
Yeah,
Jay was dropping shit after shit, and then here's the Blueprint. Like, I'm not gonna spend my $7 on the Great Depression. I'm gonna go get the Blueprint when the Blueprint drops.
I keep telling y'all, there was an internal struggle in NYC.
Yeah, this was the time when they was dropping those calendars, so you knew Hov was fucking on the way.
Yeah,
you knew he was on the way.
There was a neck to neck in that bitch.
This album didn't even have enough time to even gain no buzz, because all the hype was already around Hov dropping Blueprint.
Right.
So it didn't have no run. It didn't have no let's get this push this album, because it was everything was at that time it was Hove. Now we pushing Hove.
It went platinum on the stream for DMX's name. It really
absolutely
did. A lot of people cop Great Depression just to copy because DMX was out. I promise you.
Absolutely.
You can't say that, but all right.
No, not in a bad way.
That's fair.
Not in a bad way. Like, I promise you, I saw that the shit was out, and I said, "Oh, okay, I'll cop Great Depression."
Nelly Sweatsuit went platinum. That wasn't because it was a great album; it's because it was Nelly.
Like, I'm not gonna let my man suffer and just sit on the rack. Like, but it didn't have joints that made me go, "Yo, I need to go buy Great Depression." I didn't need to go buy it. Like,
but
I just copped it.
Being in the streaming era, being able to go back to it.
Ain't missed and shit. He ain't missed before, so shit. Why not?
I don't think he'll be let down now.
Why would I not go get the album? It's coming.
Yeah,
but I'm waiting on Blueprint.
Right, I'm about to say, I have this $7 to $10.
Did we talk about We Right Here? We Right Here was my shit.
We Right Here was an anthem. We Right Here was an absolute anthem. But you know what I'm saying? Even with that, Who We Be just hit. And it really, even though you heard a lot of DMX's pain on his other records, you were really introduced to his pain on Who We Be.
Yeah, Who We Be was the one. Yeah, Who We Be.
Even getting to the line, my mother, my father, I love him, I hate him, wish God I didn't have him, but I'm glad that he made him. Like, the duality of what was in DMX's head, you know what I'm saying, was all over this album. And like you said, this probably was him at his best lyrically.
Yeah,
it was. I never took it from him. Yo, Jay, I know you're gonna probably rank this one high because I can tell. I can tell. I'm letting you know, I'm not shitting on Great Depression. I'm with him. I'm not shitting on Great Depression. I just think hip hop at that time, they weren't as depressed as he wanted us to be. Like we was chilling. Like,
bro, Great Depression was way before its time. I feel like it was way before its time. Like I call me crazy. I view the Great Depression like I view Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. Like,
I don't call you crazy for that.
Like,
no.
This album, which is by far my favorite DMX album. Like, just like the first album, these singles hit and they hit hard, bro. Like I remember playing ball in high school. And mind you, I didn't start playing ball in high school until what 03, 04. And so I remember we was at practice playing We Right Here. And we go to the game and get our ass beat. But we went to the game, though, ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But bro, I'm talking about by the time we get that intro, sometimes, like DMX was a fucking poet, bro. Like, I'd be such a poet. And so the sometimes intro was dope. But School Street, just like with what these bitches want, it's a song full of names. But it's a hard-hitting song full of names that we never met in our life. But these are niggas that he know. And he mentions D Nyson, he mentions so many people, but it's just he's a nigga from Yonkers, New York. You know what I'm saying? And it shows that he's kind of cat that fucks with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like X fucks with everybody. And if X don't fuck with you, there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And bro, this track list is nuts, bro. The first 7 records on this album is insane. Trina Moe, Who We Be, We Right Here, Shorty Was the Bomb, Damien 3 is dope. When I'm Nothing is dope. I Miss You. Now, I Miss You is different for me because when I hear I Miss You, I think about our grandfather, Lowe's. I think about Corey's grandfather. Like the day your grandfather passed, I remember playing that record, just think about your grandpa. And the same thing when my grandpa passed, and we kicked it outside of high school that day, it was like, what? Bro, you relate, bro. But then you got I'm a Bang, which is a crazy record. You Could Be Blind, A Minute for Your Son. And then, of course, and I think the Prayer 4 is the strongest prayer he's ever done. Because, like, that was literally X at that time.
He was pained. He was super pained.
I am in so much pain.
I agree.
And
I agree.
You know, and all I could be is me. And I need God to hear me. You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to my point. It goes back to my point to where even though we are mourning him not being here in a physical form, X was so prepped to return back home. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like these prayers, especially prayer number 4, you're almost sad because like you wish as a fan, I want to help him, but he's helping me. You dig? And and even though it's a sad album, it still got bangers. But We Right Here is arguably probably one of the best records ever. It's one of those albums to where out of this whole catalog, his whole catalog, I will never not play Great Depression. Never.
Okay.
Corey?
That's dope. That's dope. Shit. I mean, Jay, you said a lot, man, right there for real, man. I think shit. I even probably was maybe even underestimating the album now thinking about it, but definitely a dope album, man. Like I said, I just think that at this time, like I said, I think he was coming at the time of this album. You feel me? Def Jam was on the rise, so I don't think it just didn't get that credit. I think now going back, looking at it, listening to it with an adult ear, it probably definitely deserves to be, amongst, you feel me, probably his top work. For me, still, I don't think I can put it top tier, but I would put it right under top tier.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I put it right under top tier just because, like, the adult ear, there's a bunch of bangers on it. And I still remember listening to that CD, but yeah, it's just not quite the top one for me. So yeah, I go right under top tier.
Really, the adult ears what plays the biggest role here because hell, even listen to like Grand Champ. We'll get to that in a second, but even listen to like Grand Champ or even his sound, the soundtracks, Cradle to Grave, Exit Wounds, Belly, the joints on Belly, like, bro, like, you really had to like grow with this shit to really truly appreciate. Like, like I said, X's best shit ain't even his shit. It's just features on different things. Like, when I saw DMX's name as a feature, I get excited, bro. I get so excited.
Because you knew he was gonna bring something to that.
Yeah, that's another thing. X never let you down on features.
He
never let you down.
Even if he's just doing the hook and a growl, I'm all in. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on it.
I need it.
Play it. I need it.
Okay, so Great Depression, not a bad album at all. Not a bad album at all. It kind of falls in that B category, like right next to Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. Trust me, I know I was saying like it sounded like I was talking shit, but I really wasn't. It's just when you got Other Heat, it gets kind of thrown.
Talk, bro. Nah, bro.
It gets thrown that way. Like there's something about the Great Depression. Like I cannot explain it to you. Like maybe once again, just like Corey was saying, maybe my ears at the time when it first dropped, it just did nothing for me. But now as I get a little bit older, if I was to revisit it again, really sit and revisit it, not just bump the singles, which I did or whatever, maybe I can appreciate it a little bit better. But personally, for me, it's definitely a B. And I don't want to disrespect it and put it as a C because it's not a C album. It's a B album.
Got you. I feel it's a step above that. I definitely wouldn't put it top tier, but I feel like it had more concentration than what Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood did. Only because, like I said, I feel like that one was like the throwaways and Slippin'. You know what I'm saying? The Great Depression, just being able to revisit this, I can only imagine if I was of age and had a better understanding of the world, listening to the Great Depression when it dropped, I definitely would have still had the blueprint, but I would have been like, next payday, I'm going to get the Great Depression.
I gotta double back and go get it.
I gotta go back. If I come up on a come up, I go get it now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm never gonna double back and get it. So I would put it in the A tier. I would put it right below top tier.
Okay.
Jay?
Y'all niggas tripping. It's top tier. Matter of fact, it's so top tier. Like, I'm comfortable being our top tier being is Dark and Hell Side, and then there was X, and then Great Depression, 100%. Because like I said, bro, it's especially when you hear it now with adult ears, bro. Like, the Great Depression is DMX's therapy session, number one, but number two is more so like it compares to shit like Marvin Gaye, what's going on. It compares to in a way, Nip, Victory Lap. It compares, like you could tell, like with all the things that X put out at that time and the way he sits and crafts an actual album, you could tell he sat there and really, like the death of his grandmother really inspired this album. You know what I'm saying? To the point to where he allowed you to feel through music whatever pain you felt about yourself and whatever pain that he was going through. You know what I'm saying? So this album, to me, out of the 17 records, I probably skipped maybe one. Bruh, it's damn near perfect. It's damn near flawless to me. It's top tier all day.
You're saying top tier. Corey, you're the decision maker on this one.
Man, I'm gonna have to go with the step above. See what is that? The A tier. It's right above, right under top tier.
Right under top tier.
I can't, and I can't even looking down at our tiers now. Like I can't. I almost want to. Yeah, no, I think we're good. Yeah, I put it second tier. It's not top tier. I was gonna put it where Duval put it,
You know what?
I
I'll even
kinda,
switch. Now after that compelling case,
we gotta go second tier, man. We gotta.
Don't cheat
I'll
yourself,
second
bro.
tier Great
Don't
Depression.
cheat yourself.
No. I'll second tier Great Depression because trust me, I know what I'm gonna do with these other ones now.
Yeah.
And Jay, you bottom tiered flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood.
I didn't bottom
what I'm
tier.
saying.
It's just not top tier to me.
So
No,
you went the opposite way.
So you went to the bottom tier. You didn't even put it in the middle tiers.
You put that with the maggots and the dirt.
Yeah, no, I'm down for A. You count me in for A because Corey
Yeah.
made a great point. It's like you can't really shit on it, and it's definitely not flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. It had substance to it. It did.
Yeah.
So I think that's a safe place.
It's damn near a concept album.
So now we're getting towards the wrap up. Grand Champ, September 16th, 2003. RIAA certified platinum singles. Where the hood at and get it on the floor. So I
This
think
is when he came back.
Right.
It was like, oh shit,
They had to bring the party back.
Exactly. He took some time off. He got into some trouble along the way, and now he's back. So this is I guess going with me now. Again, this is one of those albums that I go back to and I appreciate with adult ears from certain, from certain records. But as far as just like that party record, you could tell he was trying to accomplish what he got with And Then Where There Was X. He was going for that commercial sound. He was going for, the radio play, especially with the fucking singles, especially with Where the Hood At and Get It on the Floor for sure. He was like, nah, I need this on the radio.
I need this on the radio.
Get on the Floor was a club banger.
Yeah.
Swiss delivered for him too. Swiss and I got it. Don't worry.
I got something for you. You need another party up? I got you.
I got it.
I
got just the one for you.
Because if you notice that on Great Depression, there's not a whole lot of Swiss on there. So there's a lot more Swiss on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now with this one though, I guess this is my controversial opinion for an album that I truly enjoyed. I truly loved. I've never been a fan of when people go into albums with the mentality of I'm about to make something commercial. So this felt like a forced version of And Then There Was X. He was like, all right, I need to recreate 5 times platinum. I need to recreate, these timeless joints. And that's and listening to it with adult ears, that's what I got from Grand Champ. Granted, I think it's a sleeper album. I feel like he had some shit on here, of course, AOK to listening to that one throughout and hearing everything like really get off. Like I was like, outside of just hearing it at the end of the We Right Here video, I was like, okay, I can definitely appreciate that one. Get It on the Floor. Solid record. Shot Down with 50 Cent, probably my favorite one on the album. So Untouchable.
50 was
first of all,
big on them hooks, boy.
And I never give this man his credit. Sheik Luch's verse on Untouchable, stupid. It's Sheik Luch on Untouchable sound like Sheik Luch now, and I may need to go back and listen to some more locks.
He ain't the nicest one of the locks, but Silverback Gorilla, when it's time for him to step up, he steps up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's how I feel about Sheik now on the last Locks album. I think we even had a conversation. I was like, Sheik might have had the best verses on this album.
Yeah.
So
he sleeps longer than them niggas. He got to hibernate. He was like, I'm gonna write this.
So hearing Sheik gas like that on something from 2003, I have the same mindset that I had when it came down to Royce the 5'9". I need to go back and listen to some stuff. I may have judged too early because I always looked at it like, the Locks is Styles P and it's Jada. And
Styles
then
and
Sheik from time to time. You know what I'm saying?
Time she can do you something good.
Right. They started D Block for Sheik to be the leader. They started D Block for Sheik to be the leader to actually feel like he was doing something. But now it's like, yo, I gotta apologize on that one because Sheik was stupid on it. There's no way I was listening. I'm listening now, Sheik. I'm listening. Jay, what you think?
Track 2, My Life, it's one of those like dark anthems, you know what I'm saying? And Where the Hood At is just, my God, that shit was slapped so tough. Yeah. Get On the Floor is cracking. I love Shot Down. 50 on the Hook is nuts. Mm-hmm. Untouchable really sat with me more because I remember we went and saw Coach Carter, and it's the opening song for Coach Carter. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, cool, let's get that. But my favorite record to this day is We Bout to Blow with Big Stan. Like X
Big
Flow
Stan ate that too. Where is he at now?
Hey.
Where's Big Stan at?
Who knows? But X Flow is insane. And then the record with Patti LaBelle is dope. And then AOK though is a record where like, you know, you never heard a record that slaps so tough that's really a dedication record to a friend
for his homie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then the record with Monica's crazy, bro. Like Grand Champ is definitely slept on. And if this be the last, I guess, official album that was on Def Jam, and this around the time when Def Jam and X was beefing, like big time. Like X wanted,
and he mentions it. He talks about it in the album.
Yeah, X wanted off Def Jam so bad, you know what I'm saying? But to still put out this quality of work is just, Grand Champ is dope. Unfortunately for the X albums, this is where they stop. But it is what it is.
We'll get to it. Corey, what you think?
All right, so all right, I like Grand Champ. Grand Champ was a good album. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it had some bangers on it, but I feel like you, Los. I feel like Grand Champ was, how can I say this without being disrespectful? This was damn near like a sellout album for X. Yeah. I feel like after Great Depression, I feel like he exactly. He went away. He had his troubles.
He was in his Eddie Kane Jr. phase.
Exactly. And it was like, look, we need a hit, man. Fuck all the bullshit. We need a hit. And he was like, fuck it, just give me something. Link me up with Swizz, and we're gonna make something happen real quick. I feel like this is where he was still being X, but I feel like this is when we started to like, this nigga DMX, and he trying to like, as big as Get It On The Floor was, like, we didn't really want that.
We didn't want that X, especially coming off a Great Depression.
Like, I'm coming Great Depression, like, oh man, like it was just kind of one of those, like, okay, you got to have a commercial album, or like this is it. And I think that's another reason why him and the beef with Def Jam was so big. This was his last Def Jam album. I think they was like, look, bro, if you want us to put this fucking album out,
you better give us some shit.
Some radio play.
You better
you been like, you been in jail. You've been doing all kind of bullshit.
I want you to bark 9 million times, motherfucker.
Something on this album better be on Madden for sure.
You ain't got to worry about winning the league. Don't worry about it.
We'll take care of that.
So, but I think I just think he was like, man, I think it was almost one of those. I don't even want to say, because I don't want to be disrespectful. Almost one of those, like, either I'm hurting for a check, I need a hit so I can do it, or it's like, fuck it, man, they not gonna put me, they're gonna shelve me, and if I'm gonna get out of my contract, I gotta put this bullshit out.
Yeah, it's almost like he made it for contractual obligations.
Yeah, like, you feel me? It was one of those albums, like, okay, I got one album left. Fuck it, I'm gonna give you this right here, real quick. You feel me? And just let me give you the most commercial shit I can give you. But I just don't think that this album was like, this wasn't us getting X. Like, I think this was like, here we go, man. They just put some shit together and kind of threw it out for him. And it wasn't a bad album. Like, it just wasn't DMX though. Like,
the highlights from that album is definitely Where the Hood At and Get It On The Floor. They still play Get It On The Floor in the club to this day. And so, and it really, it's the beat that reels you in, and how aggressive X is on the beat. Because no matter what, you know, X has always had party records, but he's not known for party records. You know what I'm saying? So that was the magic of Swizz and X. Like when they make music, they make fucking magic. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I even say, like, even going with Where the Hood At. Where the Hood At was DMX. That's still like, okay, that's an Anthem DMX song.
That's some shit X will put out, same shit.
Exactly. But Get It On The Floor was like, I don't know.
Like, what is this?
Like, I like this song, but this feels very forced.
This feels very different.
This feels like the label.
He didn't try to chase another Rough Riders anthem with Where the Hood At. He knew he couldn't redo that kind of magic for a Rough Riders anthem. But Where the Hood At was Rough Riders anthem of 03. You know what I'm saying? Like, Where the Hood At was bang tough.
Yo, man, Where the Hood At is a fucking classic. Like,
sure.
Where the Hood At is a classic. We don't got to argue about that. So this album only had 2 singles. Am I correct?
Right.
All right. So the reason
2 known singles, but the album cuts that everybody would
were good. They were decent. They were
Life,
decent.
you know, even the record with Monica was dope. And X is not known for like sappy love songs, but when he does like a for the ladies type record, you know, he still is aggressive as fuck. He's like, I love the bitch, but also in her purse. You know what I'm saying?
I know where I was at. I know where I was at when this came out. This came out in 03. I was just moving here, moving to Vegas around this time. Got my first Dell computer. And I burnt
and I'm sure I had a burner on it, right?
Yeah, I burnt my first copy.
Because John crazy that day. I know.
Yeah, I made a couple copies for niggas in college. I'll put it to you like this. Grand Champ was a solid DMX album, but it did feel contractually like yo, you need a banger for the radio. You need this. You need that. Like you need
felt like an obligation.
He has a line. He has a line on the "We About to Blow" record, which immediately takes you back to that time of Def Jam because 2001 they were on their rise. 2003 they was like, we need single because when he has the line, I'm gonna pump it up like Joe Budden. I was like, oh shit. So this is where we are at Def Jam now. Now we're like, no, we need we need cornball shit at this point. We're trying to really this was They
went for the streets. They went to the streets to get saved, and then they slowly started moonwalking right back to the bullshit. Yeah.
So I would say with this one, I think this is the introduction of the C tier for this one. Definitely not. Definitely not a bottom tier album, but you know, it's still, to me again, it's still a good album, but definitely forced for the sales or for the radio play. I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. Most definitely.
Jay, what you think?
I would actually put Grand Champ at B with Flesh of My Flesh.
You would put it. I was going back and forth with it, to be honest with you. But
because it almost falls under the same thing, even though Flesh of My Flesh was really just an extended of It's Dark and Hell Top, but as far as the complete body of work, there are records on there that just hit hard, and then there are also records on there that you can skip for sure. But I can't put it top tier, definitely not. But I can't put it bottom tier either. I got to put it with Flesh of My Flesh.
Okay, Corey.
This is I'm going in the C tier. I think it's got to go below Flesh of My Flesh. Like I said, I think it was just real commercial, man. Like I said, I don't think it was really any of X's best work. I don't think he was really in his bag at all and this shit at all, really. So
too many variables.
Too many variables into it. Like I don't think he really even wanted to put the damn album out, type shit. So I'm gonna put it on the C tier.
Duval.
Actually, gonna agree a little bit with Jay because I can easily put it in C, but I'll be sitting there and be straight capping if I told you I wasn't bumping Grand Champ. I was bumping Grand Champ.
Grand Champ had some bangers.
It was a good album. It's a great album.
You don't want to admit that you.
I'm not gonna sit here and talk shit about Grand Champ like that.
But the question would be: are you bumping Grand Champ? Or are you bumping songs from Grand Champ?
I'm bumping songs from Grand
because
Champ.
That's how I feel about Flesh of My Flesh. Like I'll go to it to bump certain songs, but as far as like press and play, let it just rock, nah.
Grand Champ has a very Life of Pablo vibe to it, to where you did this to give people old Kanye. But your heart wasn't really in it, you know what I'm saying?
Wasn't really there.
So it's very okay. So to be fair, what we'll do, because it's technically at a stalemate here, we'll put it on the B tier, but we'll know for sure that it's going behind Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. I say that's fair.
Oh yeah, okay. Hell yeah.
Got you. So that's B tier for Grand Champ. All right, so with the official Turn My Mic Up ranking of DMX albums coming in at number 7, Undisputed.
At number 6, we got DMX Year of the Dog Again.
At number 5, we got DMX Grand Champ.
Number 4 will be DMX's Flesh of My Flesh and Blood of My Blood.
Number 3, DMX The Great Depression.
Number 2, which should be higher, and then there was X.
And man, number 1, as much as we just debated it, man, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. It's the number one DMX album, man.
That's our official ranking. Don't get mad. It's our personal picks. We just debated this for an hour. We were able to. I feel like we went into the science of this. You know what I mean?
But there's some Undisputed fans out there that's gonna be pissed the fuck
Somebody
off.
from Undisputed is gonna be like,
how could they not? 2012.
And 9 times out of 10, they would have been able to relate to DMX far too well if that was the situation.
Around that time.
around that time specifically. Like I said, man, that's our list. Gentlemen, it's great to link back up with y'all. We definitely got to get this going again. Of course, you can follow me at Big Los IG on IG and at The Noise Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Check The Noise out every Monday.
Follow me on IG at Official J Alonzo. Follow the show at BTTC Podcast. Back to classes every Thursday.
Yes, sir. You guys can follow me on Instagram at It's King Corey. Check out our page and website over the toplv.com.
You guys can find me at IG, BKLB Negrito. I also got the link tree set up. You guys can just holler at me on Twitter, Snapchat, and of course, I'll be wherever Back to the Classics.
You got the OnlyFans.
I got that.
He said he got the link tree, boy. I ain't never heard nobody drop the link tree. I got the link tree.
Hey, that link tree, that's just a lifesaver. That shit got
backslash.
Anyway.
Slash link tree.
You know, we had our fun in the conversation, man, but all respects and all, you know, prayers and well wishes to the family of Earl Simmons, aka DMX. RIP to a true legend, man, a man that really got his flowers while he was here and afterwards. A very rare feat for a lot of people in hip hop, really a lot of people in entertainment in general. You know, this was a man that was loved while he was here, and he's, you know, being loved even more now that he's gone. Appreciate y'all sticking with us for this ranking. Let us know, you guys, let us know y'all ranking down in the comments wherever you're watching this. And yeah, we're definitely gonna get back on board and keep things going. And this was Turn My Mic Up. We out.
Yes, sir. We out.